attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya. He has just been introduced to two brand new people. A fairly young girl around his age. Apparently she moved into the apartment building. And then there was another one. Midoriya, he finds himself with another fangirl. However, this fangirl claims not to be a fan because of his movies, but because of his quirk. Now, Toga, she has an obsession with Deku. And she actually does know his schedule a little bit. She knows that he gets up to train, and actually does have his own training partner. She's not too sure as to exactly who that is, but based on how they usually act around each other, yeah. She's assuming that that is his girlfriend. Especially since, well, she seems to have a cheery personality, as you can call it. Now, let us open with today. Midoriya has been doing intense training. Every single day, he's either bathing in acid and lifting weights, or trying to test out his speed. Now, Midoriya has once quite literally ran until he was out of breath and felt his lungs actually pop. Midoriya's body, it knows that it cannot die. Therefore, it has no need for physical restraints. Midoriya can go all out and push his body to certain extremes. However, he can do some more than others. He can still feel tired and hungry. But if he really wanted to, he could just stop eating altogether. Now, with that being said, today Midoriya is trying something different. He actually does want to test out his own abilities. He's been going around town and actually trying to find different places to fight people. Today, Midoriya, he is actually getting a bit ready. Somewhat stretching out his arms a bit and actually beginning to ask somebody, as he walks into a place, if anyone here wants to give him a fight. As soon as everyone sees who it is, it's kind of interesting. They literally just had a celebrity walk in here and ask if he can kick someone's ass, or if anyone wants to try and throw a punch at him. Now, quite a lot of people, they confused. Not really too sure what to say. Now, you do have the arrogant and overconfident people, who are actually just talking about how this little punk, or quite simply this jackass, is basically walking in on their home territory, and says that he can kick anyone's ass in here. Midoriya simply just stating that it isn't a matter of saying I can, it's a matter of he actually can. He's trying to test out his own powers. And he's a bit more curious. He wants to see if there's anyone here who can actually give him a fight. In fact, the last dojo he was at, yeah. He left there, and he was kind of disappointed. Now, some people don't really know what to say. And other people simply just ask Midoriya if he goes by a nickname. Midoriya? He just says that usually people just call him the Undead Man. Or it's quite simple. Undead. Or, well, I'm not too sure if this is Keiji or not, but, I don't know. I just say Izuku Midoriya. Now, as Midoriya says that he actually does hop onto the mat and take off his shirt, saying that whoever wants to try and face him as he begins to stretch, saying they won't need to worry about holding back. If you know who I am, then that means you know what my quirk is. So, I suggest you go all out. In fact, intend to try and kill me, and you might actually win. Now, this actually does shock quite a lot of people, and some people are hesitant. However, after the first couple matches, you can clearly see that Midoriya is outpacing everyone. Midoriya has a strength advantage, or a speed advantage, depending on who he's facing. Even whenever someone goes up and uses their quirk against him, the dude quite literally is able to take them down. Midoriya was able to pull somebody in and attack them at close range. He was even able to grab them by their outfit or their gi and sure just lift them up into the air. As soon as that did happen, whenever they came back to fall down, Midoriya was able to simply just grab them and pin them on the mat, or sock them across their face. Now, Midoriya, he does this for a little bit of time. Not only does he get hurt and injured trying to fight certain people or certain opponents with certain quirks, he eventually does get bored, leaving this place and heading to another one. Okay, so let's see. I fought against. I fought against people on this side of town, this side of town, and this side of town. I think there's only really a couple places I haven't hit yet. I think there's a place nearby. Would actually be a bit interesting. Now, Midoriya actually does head there, deciding that he's got some time before he's supposed to get back home. But still, though, magical training, it's not really my thing. This is all just boring. Now, with that being said, as Midoriya is walking, this is what currently happens. He is waiting at a not a stoplight. He's waiting in the crosswalk for the thing to basically turn. I got my words mixed up. That way you can walk across the street. He's waiting for the lights to turn red. There we go. Now, as he's waiting for that, he's just standing there. And this is whenever he does actually notice something. As soon as a girl, or at least a person he believes, walked behind him, they took a step out into the road, and they were not paying attention. As soon as that did happen, Midoriya was able to hear it. He turned his head and saw a car. His eyes darted into the person. Midoriya just immediately bringing his hand up and being able to grab them by their arm, before just yanking them back onto the sidewalk. As soon as this did happen, the person fell onto the ground, and got back up a bit angry. Jesus, what is your problem? My problem? Midoriya says, offering out his hands, saying, my problem is that you're not paying attention. Man, did I run into you? I'm sorry. No, you didn't run into me. However, Midoriya begins to state, as a man comes running over and asks if she's alright. What are you talking about? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't see you in the road. The road? Wait. Wait, you're telling me you don't know? Did a pro hero help you? No. Mister, she wasn't paying attention. I'm guessing she was on her phone. Besides, I pulled her out of the street before you hit her. She's fine. Probably other than a few bumps and bruises. Oh, thank you so much, sir. You truly are going to be a good person. Yeah, probably. Now, this girl gets back up and simply goes on stating that, thanks. You're fine. Besides, what kind of person would I be if I just let someone like you go splat? What are you talking about? Well, what's the best way to say it? I'm trying to be a pro hero, but I'm also a nice guy. And letting a pretty girl die? Yeah, I don't really see myself letting that ever happen. Hell, the day it does, I might be in my grave. What are you talking about? I'm making a joke. But, hey, what were you doing on your phone anyway? Were you texting somebody? No, I was just changing my genre. Your music? Yeah. Anyways, thank you. Are you going somewhere right now? Yeah. Why? Because you can cross now. Alright. Well, later then. Midoriya says as he walks away. Now, this is where Jiro is left there, kind of confused. So, that just happened? So, a hot guy just saved her life, called her cute, and is currently walking away. That is a new one. Now, she actually does try and ask the guy's name, trying to run across the street and catch up to him. As soon as she gets across, yeah, the thing already turned back. And she tried to at least call out his name. Hey, whatever your name is. Midoriya just turning around. And her walking up, trying to ask him a few questions. Once she learns that apparently this guy is the immortal quirk guy, that she's heard a lot of people talk about before, it's kinda cool. So that does explain his whole thing about letting a cute girl die whenever he's in his grave. That's actually a little bit more clever once you know about it. Interesting. Now, she does at least ask Midoriya if he would like to at least have something for his trouble. Huh? What? No. You don't have to give me money or anything like that. Well, at least let me give you something. I don't really like owing people. Hmm? Alright. Well, hmm. I don't really care what you do. Now, she simply just asks Midoriya to hold out his hand. As soon as she does that, she quite simply just scribbles something down on a piece of paper and hands it over to him, before quickly just running off. This leaving Midoriya a bit confused, as he opens it up. It is her phone number, along with a list of bands. Her quickly just turning around saying that he's gonna go to UA one day, right? Yeah, but what's this for? I don't know. They might be your type of genres, though. A bunch of zombie stuff, too. Interesting. I'll give it a listen. Midoriya quickly just walking away. Now, as soon as that does happen, Midoriya does actually get to another dojo, and he begins to quickly make short work of a lot of people here, being able to take them down and actually mimic some of their fighting styles. Along with that, there's the way he's actually still moving his body. Midoriya just keeps his hands at his side. There's no real need for him to defend, and that actually does kind of put some people at a weird unease. The guy doesn't even really think he ever needs to defend himself. Then there's the fact that he might as well be punching with the force of a sledgehammer. Now, eventually there is one person here that can actually challenge him. A fiery girl that has a very, very strong attitude. And it does leave a lasting impression on Midoriya. This being very, very surprising. Whenever she does step onto the mat and does actually face Midoriya, he can see that quite a lot of people, they actually do have a lot of confidence in her. Judging from the way everyone else is looking, or at least paying attention, this might not be an easy battle. Let's see. I've faced people with strength enhancing quirks before. But, Midoriya says, actually just bringing his hands up, in a fist, saying that he's not too sure what her quirk is. But he can tell everyone around thinks that she can beat him. And, with the fact that she can go all out, that just proves that he might be a bit more cautious with this round. Really now. You kick everyone else's ass in this place, then you're cautious around a girl? What happened to all that bravado? Not really bravado. It's only shit talk whenever you can't back it up. Interesting. And what makes you think you can beat me? Oh, a lot of things. You see, you may not know it, but I'm a lot more stronger than I look. In fact, I've been taking it easy on a lot of your guys here. Alright then. She says rushing forwards. As soon as that does happen, Midoriya actually does somewhat move forwards. Getting ready. As soon as the girl does actually throw back her arm and go to throw out a punch, everyone begins to chant Kendo on. And Midoriya himself does actually think, as he brings his hand up to dodge. Or at least block. Now, Midoriya is going to block the punch, and simply just jab her on the side of her ribs. If he can do that, he can actually get her to go up in the air before he can just slam her back down on the mat and take her down. Alright, so, I already know what I'm going to do. Now, as soon as Midoriya does actually begin to try and put his plan into motion, beginning by bringing up his right hand and going in for a chop, her hand enlarges. And this sends Midoriya flying backwards. This being where everyone begins to try and move backwards and out of the way. And Midoriya, he slams into a piece of equipment. Now, Midoriya was sent flying into a bench press, and one of the metal rods is currently piercing into the back of his spine, and out through his chest. Midoriya just coughing up a bit of blood, before simply just saying, "Oh, that's not good." Everyone began to try and freak out, and Kendo trying to apologize and say that she needs to call a hospital. She needs to call some sort of ambulance. Nah, you're fine. Midoriya says, moving his arms behind his back, being able to simply just pull himself off this piece of equipment. As soon as that does happen, you begin to see the mist form around his body, the blood beginning to dry out and the wound healing. Before Midoriya, he simply just walks back onto the mat, saying that that's what he means by you don't have to hold back. You also broke about 3 of my ribs with that, along with a bone in my arm. But as you can tell, I'm all good. So let's try that again. Now, Kendo, she's surprised. But she loves the confidence. This guy truly is a good opponent. Now, Midoriya and her begin to fight. These two going back and forth. Midoriya can sometimes land in a solid shots. However, that's usually whenever Kendo returns the favor, either sending him flying away and smashing into a wall or another piece of equipment inside the gym, or at least the place that they are at. Now, eventually they do have to call it quits, since whenever Midoriya gets sent flying into another piece of equipment, it actually did pierce through one of his eyeballs, in the back of his head. and the owner of the gym, they basically had to kick Midoriya out. Now, eventually Midoriya did leave, but he did at least learn the girl's name that he fought. Pretty tough and pretty strong. As he did begin to head home for the day. He's got a pretty good estimate as to where some of his abilities do lie. But he does actually need to learn a bit more. But then there's that whole magical ability thing. He's still wondering about it, along with that demon. He should actually make sure with Elaine, the doll, whether or not there's anything strange. They need to start looking online. And once they do begin a search, it would probably be easier to track down the guy. Then kill him. Then again, he's probably gonna have to do an acid bath tonight. Ugh. Things are worse than they sound. He's probably gonna have to sleep in the barrel. Even then, it's basically just he stays in there until morning. Now, as Midoriya does eventually get home, it is right before sunset. And, surprise, surprise, Himiko Toga is currently stalking him. And Midoriya, he walks around the area where his apartment is. And he actually does see something strange. The barrel that he usually fills up, it's currently floating a couple feet off the ground. Then there's a few things. The anvil that he usually has Elaine toss off the roof and smash him with. The broken piano, because he saw it in a cartoon once and thought it was funny. And, a few of the metal rods Elaine would usually try and throw at him. So with her being so strong for her size, and apparently not being human, she's able to throw those things as if they were basically bullets. And he once literally got impaled by 5 of them. It was not pleasant. Now, he actually does walk around and try and figure out what's going on. Okay, as he looks down, there is a girl really, really stressed out. And trying to actually maintain what she's currently doing. Now, Midoriya, he actually does one thing. He begins to try and approach her and ask her a question. Hey, he says, her immediately turning her head. And somewhat shouting, What? Who are you? I'm the guy from yesterday. Or, a couple months ago. Oh, hi. Uh, I have a question as to what you're doing with my belongings. Oh, these are all yours? Sorry. I was hoping to train. And these were sort of just here. But why the piano? I thought it was funny one day. It made a weird sound when it hit the ground. That's sort of weird. Whatever. But either way, do you think you could at least get the barrel thing down? I kinda need it right now. Oh, uh, sorry, I kinda can't, she says, trying to walk over to continue the conversation. However, as soon as she does take a few steps, Midoriya notices something. She's very wobbly. And then her quirk is released. Midoriya is not too sure as to what her quirk is, but clearly it's not good. Especially since that piano is about to hit the ground, with her in the way. Midoriya just throwing up his hand and pulling her in close to him. As soon as the piano hits the ground, he already has her in his arms. Hey, he says, trying to get her attention. Hello? Are you alright? Damn it. She probably overworked herself. Crap. I don't know what to do here. Do I just... No, I can't leave her out here. I also can't just barge to her apartment and leave her in there. Shit. Alright, looks like you're coming with me, I think your name was Ochako, if I'm correct. Or was it Uraka? Crap, I don't really know your name, do I? I think it's both, if I remember correctly. Your dad was very insistent on being able to pay the rent this week. Now, with that being said, Midori does actually carry her upstairs. And, after getting to the floor they need to, this is whenever Ochako does actually somewhat come to. She's leaned up against the wall, and Midoriya, he's already walking back with a glass of water. Hey, are you alright? Hmm? Uh, sure, I'll be fine. Are you sure? 'Cause whenever I was carrying you, you didn't really seem fine. So, I have a question. You exhausted yourself, didn't you? Kind of. Why? Besides, I'll be okay. I just need to get some rest. Get some rest? Are you sure you don't need some food? No, I'll be quite alright. Well, I was kind of asking because your stomach is still rumbling. Now, Midoriya tells her that her stomach's been rumbling quite literally the whole time he was carrying her. And he's fairly certain that she passed out from fatigue of being tired and having no energy in her body. That's not a very good thing to do. Sure, it's a good way to, well, he's not trying to be rude here, but lose weight and all that. But if you're trying to train and work out physically, that's very bad for your body. Her going on to state that she's very, very sorry to inconvenience him. But it's just that she hasn't really had a lot to eat since her parents sent her a lot of money. And most of it was put towards making sure she can live in the apartments. They're very, well, they're kind of a little bit expensive. But the money she does have and scrape together does get her by for at least a little bit of time. But it's not enough, is it? Huh? Listen, what you're telling me is that you can't get by with the money your parents send you. You can't really live in these apartments, is that what you're telling me? No, I can't. But I can't let my parents know that. I sort of told them this place was a little cheaper than they sort of wanted to know. Why? Because it's a bit closer to UA. If I got the cheaper apartment that they were originally going to get, well, I'd have to basically take an hour bus ride. And with a fare on the bus and a few other things coming back and forth, it basically added up to the same price. Oh, well, you're a smart one at least. Thanks. But, well, I have some news for you. I'm the guy that owns this place. Huh? What are you talking about? Well, I said you were messing with my stuff earlier. That includes the apartment complex. You see, whenever I first moved here, the piece of shit landlord, they didn't really like me. They hated the movies I was in, they hated what I do, and they just hated my style in general. So I did one thing that was reasonable. I bought the entire apartment complex from him. Afterwards, I gave him the boot in the ass and kicked him out. Hell, I probably gave him enough money for a small apartment. Probably even a condo, actually. Actually, I think it'd be more like a house. Oh, wait, you own this entire place? Oh, crap. So, I've been found out. Yeah, but hey. How about this? I cut you a I cut you about half the rent you need. Huh? What are you talking about? It's simple. You need enough money to eat. Clearly, you're not getting enough nutrients. And you're going to be a pro hero. So, here's the deal. Ugh, I actually do need to cook my own dinner in a minute. You want to join me? Uh, sure. But what are you talking about, though, with cutting me a deal? Well, I can't really just let you live here for free. If I do, that'd be seen as favoritism. So I can cut your rent down, halfway probably. Halfway? But that means that this place would be cheaper than the other apartment. Yeah, I know. If I need to, I can cut it down a fourth of the way. Listen, if you're gonna be a pro hero one day and that's your dream, sure. But if you're gonna be a pro hero, starve yourself and put yourself through all this kind of crap, yeah, that's not happening. People need to take care of themselves. Uh, thank you. Don't worry about it. Besides, I'm not really gonna be losing money. I'm about to get paid for a movie I did last year. Hmm? What are you talking about? Oh, I acted in a movie last year, and with the fact that after we got done with filming it, they're basically putting these special effects in and all these other crap. As soon as they get done with that, the movie's gonna come out soon. Then, I can make a hefty amount of money. Wait, you're an actor? Yep. Anyways, just come on in and we can chat at least. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.